Carl, Brendan and Dan here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life. gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it's reaction time. Have you heard of Vexed? You should have by now. They are certainly growing in prominence because they got a brand new album out. It's called Negative Energy, giving a very positive review on our very own website. And hell, we like Vexed. But some of us haven't actually listened to this album or this song, in particular, Trauma Euphoria, because that's how it works. Some reviews, the others move on and do something else, and we don't get to check it out. So we are going to do that now. 2 out of 3 of us will see this and hear this for the first time, whereas one of us won't. Will have seen it before, which means take it away, Brendan.
All right. So album come out on the 23rd of June.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the last single of it. There's definitely the most recent one to go up with like a video and all that. So
yeah, I think the post-release one or the day of release one.
Yeah, so look, strong band, UK band, very, very heavy, much heavier now than they were with their debut, even though their debut was very, very good. They've come back with a slightly different style, still currently being categorized as alt metal, but I think, the style was changed, that probably changes too. Got phenomenal vocalists, like genuinely phenomenal vocalists, but like just really, really like energetic, heavy music. This album in particular is very dedicated to different sort of traumatic mental health affecting things that people go through in their lives. I don't know if it's particularly personal to things that they've gone through or if it's just more of a, things that people go through. So, a lot of stuff around death, betrayal, pain, grief, all that sort of stuff. So it's not, it's not designed maybe specifically to pick you up and make you feel 100% like, ready to go out and attack your day. But I guess then sometimes the stuff has that sort of secondary effect, isn't it? Because like you listen to people shouting about things that they're angry about, and even if you're angry about them too, then you feel like somebody else agrees with what you're doing, and then you feel better about it anyway. So maybe it has a therapeutic value in there too. So a lot of songs on it, a lot of them address a specific thing, so it's like kind of like one after the other, and which is quite cool from an album perspective as well. To be honest with you, I really like this song, but I really like the album as a whole. The only reason I was going to probably choose a different one, like Cross My Heart or something like that, but I know that you've covered it in Single Sam, so you've listened to them ones anyway. So I thought, I'll pull out the most recent one. So
no, that's cool. That's cool. If you want to understand the sort of story behind the track in the actual YouTube video description, Megan Target goes into immense detail about it, so you can read that there, of course. Okay, Trauma Euphoria. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, Records.
The flashbacks reminded me
brings it all.
How can you see? How can you go down that little bit?
That would be it.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Come up with like the Napalm Records trailers and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you're right. I do hear a track like that, and I do think, my God, like who would hear that? And while they might have a different opinion on it, they might have a feel that, oh, I don't really like the clean vocals because it just doesn't do it for them personally and so on. But I think the majority of people would surely come away and say, look, that is a really strong track, structurally clever, musically, it's heavy, it's fast, it's energetic, it's also got clear depth and meaning and understanding that connect to different people in different ways. And it's clearly performed by a talented band from an incredible vocalist who sounds immense when she's singing, soaring in that chorus, but my God, is it the other side of those vocals that just makes it go, what? That is so fucking good. But the riffs, man, they are super fucking strong in that. That's some scathing stuff, man. That's some bone soaring, nasty, grinding, makes you go, oh, wince a little bit. You feel it in the back of your brain rather than at the front. You got some heavy ass drums and wicked bass lines. It's just really fucking good from beginning to end. Really attention grabbing. That's the thing. I think that's the thing. I know this band. I'm familiar with this band, but I didn't know this track. So there's no real reason why they've already grabbed my attention. But I think if you played that to most people, I think if you played that in general at a party, ears might prick up and be like, oh, okay. Who's this? They sound really cool. That kind of thing. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
I echo a lot of the same sentiments,
Okay.
but I don't think it's particularly clever.
Okay.
And I don't agree with the fact, like, if you played it, I don't think it would prick up. I think it sounds like quite a cliche metalcore song. So whilst I won't try and take away from any of them as musicians, and I think it's good and it's structured great and the chorus is nice, I just don't think it's anything to like stick up on the fridge, you know.
The term we would have used once upon a time, if you're a certain age, is nothing to write home about, right?
Yes, nothing to write home about.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, but I like it and stuff. Don't get me wrong at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
need to listen to more.
Weirdly, actually, I actually out of all the songs on the album, I've chosen this one obviously because of the fact that it's the most recent one with the video. I must admit, like, I thought the video was a bit crap. To be honest with you, it was just like quite painful in the eyes. But it is probably the most standard track. I agree with you that it is probably the most standard track actually on the album. And actually, while re-listening to it, I was like, oh, I remember liking this one, but also think it's one of the most standard tracks on the album. One of the things that I think is interesting, and why it's probably worth looking into them a bit more, is actually across the whole of the album, that clean singing is used quite sparingly. Actually, like it's not I think maybe sometimes, like, if you heard a song like this from a band, you're going to probably start getting like maybe the idea in your head that this is actually what they do. You know, it's a heavy verse, goes into clean in the chorus, and actually for the most part, it's just heavy, and then with like an occasional line here and there delivered clean. So obviously I like them a lot as a band. I think there's a lot happening there. I think it's a good song. I do. I don't think it's the strongest song on the album. Is the truth on it. So, like, if you like this song, or if you say anything about it, yeah, like, I think if you listen to anything else on the album, you'll probably be even more impressed. So that's good.
What I said, attention grabbing. You'd hear that, grab your attention, and want to find out more. Basically, it's not necessarily saying it's the best track ever or anything like that. I mean, I loved it personally. Maybe more than both of you, clearly, to a certain degree, but definitely an attention grabber in the sense that you'd hear that and think, okay, there's something really good here. I'm really interested to know more, that kind of thing. I do think if you're like a regular, I get what you're saying there, Dan. that if you're more of a regular listener to this type of music, this style of music, it may not be that much an attention grabber. I guess I'm trying to look at it from a perspective of someone that maybe isn't that familiar with it, because I'd say while it is heavy and it's quite abrasive, riffs here and there, it's still quite accessible. And accessibility means that someone who doesn't maybe listen to a lot of metal would go back to it, grab their attention.
Yeah, I could see that. Somebody who's maybe not as informed, maybe someone who isn't as like, maybe someone who's not as into metalcore as I've since strayed from it, truth be told.
Yeah,
but I still know it very well. Maybe if I didn't know it as well, I'd be more intrigued by it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But I would say that what I would love to see is like that person that not so into it, who maybe listens to it and goes, "Oh my god, this is the heaviest stuff I've ever listened to. I'll check something else out on the album because I think most other things on the album are 10 times heavier."
yeah.
I was just looking back at my review on this, and I said like Trauma Euphoria is a supremely catchy song. I love the rhythm; it's a mover. The whole flow of the track, it's a surefire hit. I basically then go into saying like, out of all the songs on the album, this is probably the most natural single bass song. Which is great because actually that's what you kind of picked up from on it, all of you anyway. So a fantastic song, probably more close to being a single. But I would love to see that young kid like listen to this and go, "Oh man, yeah, that's so heavy. Let me stick another one of theirs on," and just be like, "What the fuck?"
And people are hating them because it's not what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
It certainly makes sense why it's the focus track then of the releases so far. Okay, there you go. Mixed, interesting opinions on Trauma Euphoria. It's still Vexed. They're still doing amazing work. And yeah, you've got a full album to check out. Forget just a single. You've got the full album to check out. So you know what to do. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhblofficial.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?